So I woke up this morning at 6:30 to a lot of rain coming in the windows of the camper. It just so it was hot and muggy last night, and I cracked all my windows to be a little more comfortable, and I kind of forgot again that Montreal is an island, so it has island weather, and heavy torrential downpours can just break out at any time. I'm lucky things didn't get too wet because it woke me up immediately when it started. But I had to rush out into the rain to close the outer flaps on my windows, and then I had to clean up a little bit of water that made it in, and it wasn't a really nice way to wake up after how good of a night I had, and then waking up to that. I ended up going back to sleep after I fixed the damage. No real damage, just had to wipe up a lot of water, and I had lots of towels to do that with. So I went back to sleep in the morning, didn't get up for a while, so I slept through the worst of the rain, and when I woke up, I got on the road towards Ottawa. I was kind of worried that it would just be this kind of freeway the entire way. I didn't think too hard about the route that I picked on the map, just picked the shortest one. And then luckily it ended up taking me down some nice country road, 2-lane highways. Not too fast, just putting along. Once I got out of the greater Montreal area, sort of. And it's nice to be back in Ontario. It rained a little bit here and there on the drive, but never really hard enough to worry about. Just enough that I had to pull over a few times to clean the camera off. Heading along the Ottawa River the entire way, passing through tiny communities, and the closer I get to home, it feels good. I went out and did what I set out to do, and now taking my time getting home. Wasn't able to meet up with my buddy Aaron today. He said he was out and about, and said if I'm still in the city tomorrow that we'll meet up. So I'm sticking around Ottawa for a night, and I wanted to do that anyways. There's a show I want to see on Thursday night. This YouTuber that I watch who's got a funny sense of humor is having an ironic rave, he calls it. This guy Dreg from Ottawa, got quite a he's got quite a thing that he's built on YouTube, and I want to go to this event, meet up with some of his other fans, maybe even get to meet the guy himself. He's just a young fella. He ran for mayor of Ottawa a few years ago on what kind of appeared to be a joke campaign, but at the same time, in an ironic way, a lot of it was dead serious too. And yeah, so Thursday night, I'm excited to see that, and hopefully I'll see Aaron tomorrow, Thursday. But anyways, the drive wasn't too bad, just dreary sort of weather. Don't mind it so much, at least compared to the heat that can still get hammered with a little bit at this time of year. I got spoiled out on the East Coast, having cool nights all the time and a cool breeze pretty much all the time during the day. The further I get inland, the hotter it gets, and I'm reminded that it's still just the end of August, it's still summertime. Though, fall is definitely coming, because I see some leaves on the trees are starting to change around here. Just every so often. But I like the fall. It's a nice time of year. things start to look beautiful, and everyone kind of slows down in the fall, it seems, compared to the mad rush that everyone's always in the summer to make the best of the good weather while it lasts. Thought about stopping and putting my canoe in the Ottawa River somewhere, but with the spotty bits of rain, I didn't really want to get out in the rain in the boat. I only got it out a handful of times on the trip here, but it was definitely worth it to bring along, if not just for that awesome paddle that I had in the Canso Causeway with whatever that thing was swimming around with me, a dolphin or a shark or a tuna, I don't know what it was, but it was worth it to bring that thing with me, and the amount of compliments I got on it from people along the way. It drew people's eye over and brought me some conversations along the way. Getting into the city of Ottawa was way better than getting into the city of Montreal when it comes to traffic. Pretty much just a breeze. I forget sometimes that there's different levels of big city. I got so used to how easy the East Coast cities were that Montreal was a big shock for me coming back to it. But Ottawa here is a fairly calm city. Might just be the day, too, because I remember when I was coming east and I came into Ottawa, I ended up having a little bit of smoke under the hood then, too, but nothing too bad today. Truck seems to just do that every now and then when it's really not happy with the heat and the bad traffic. I should probably get that oil leak fixed somehow, but everything in good time. Really what I need next is a new set of tires. But I got into Ottawa here and got a hold of Aaron and found out that he couldn't hang out for the day, so I looked around for a good park to take the kitty cat out to. She's been cooped up for a couple days. She just got out a little bit at Maggie's last night for a visit, so I wanted to get her out and let her really run around. So we found a spot in Hull-Gatineau area, just outside of Ottawa on the other side of the river, called Jaques Cartier Park. And really beautiful place. There was a great big flock of Canada geese taking up most of the park, and I kept my distance from them because they can mess you up if you cross them. And I didn't trust the kitty cat not to go over and try and play with them. Didn't want her getting beat up by geese, so we stayed clear of them. And we had a pretty good time. She got herself stuck in a tree for a little bit, and I decided not to help her, to just let her figure out a way to get down. She got herself into that mess, she can get herself out. So for a while, like when I take her for walks, she always runs straight up to a tree and then goes up maybe 6 or 8 feet and then scales her way right back down. But this time she ran at it and went up a good 15 or 16 feet and then ended up on a thin little branch. And she's balancing there, trying to figure out a way down. I left her to her own devices because really it's a good learning moment for her. There was a few times where she just sat down on the branch, clung to it, and started meowing at me like she wanted help, but I wasn't gonna help her. I knew that she could figure out a way to get down, and I made sure to stay close in case she slipped and started to fall, I'd be able to catch her. Probably get a face full of claws at the same time for my trouble, but I was really proud of her when she eventually made her way down. She climbed down a few branches really carefully, like they were stairs, sort of, and used them sort of that way, but then she ended up kind of stuck where she couldn't get down to the next branch that she wanted to. And oh, it was fun watching her. I'm glad there weren't other people around in the park, because they might have thought I was a little bit mean, not just climbing up to get her, but I think it's more, I think it's kinder to let her have her fun while she's up there. Because I could watch as when she ran up there, she was having fun and not paying attention to what she's doing. Then I saw her demeanor kind of changed into an "oh no, what have I done" attitude. And then after she meowed at me and I made clear I wasn't going to help her, she started looking around with more of an attitude of, okay, how do I figure this out? And I'm really proud of how she did it. She ended up kind of stuck where she couldn't go down any further on the branches like stairs or like a ladder, so she ended up climbing back up a little bit to where she had been before. And I was telling her while she was doing this, going higher isn't the answer, but she proved me wrong. I thought she was going to go across this one branch here over to the next tree over that was leaning really good. She could have walked down it just like a ramp, really. And I was trying to coax her over to it, but she didn't want to go that way. She wanted to figure it out for herself, and eventually turned around, clung onto the tree the same way that she would climb up, and scaled her way back down like this. Oh, I was so proud of her. And then we hung out a while longer. She didn't go getting herself in any kind of trouble after that, and had a good day.